Hey, I'm Dan, welcome back. You are watching iAllegedly. And I've got a good one for you today, because is this the big one? Who knows? But please take a second, like, subscribe, comment. And today we have a sponsor, Patriot Gold, which is very timely for what I'm going to talk about in this video. First things first, guys. As we've been, trying to rebuild after the last hurricane, Helene, Hurricane Milton is getting closer and closer to Florida. And one of my favorite contributors is Dr. Marvin, who wrote me and sent me a personal note to thank me about the devastation in Florida and how they got clobbered and how Tampa looks like it's just going to get hit again. And the problem with this is that people, you can prepare, you've got a couple days, so you get ready for this. But it's just one thing after another, and the government is not there for these people. And as we try to build citizenry, patrols that go out and save people's lives, I mean, you guys, if you heard the stories that have been sent to me about private helicopter pilots that have spotted people on roofs, animals, dogs, horses, infants, it's crazy, guys. It is absolutely crazy. But Florida has this mess to look forward to again. Now, one thing that we have to deal with here in California is the earthquake crisis. And I woke up this morning to all these people texting me, did you feel that earthquake? Did you feel that earthquake? No, I didn't. Well, there was a 4.0 earthquake, a little over 4.0, 4.1 earthquake in the Ontario area, which is that's where the epicenter is. That's where it starts to shake. And it was tied to the San Andreas Fault, just like the movie that you've seen, and that The Rock and that beautiful Carla Gugino was in. But anyways, 4.0 earthquake, which is a decent sized shaker. Is it likely that's going to destroy buildings and things like that? Not at all. But here's what's bad about this, is that the precursor to earthquakes, and you have all these nerds that are engineers and seismologists and these people that love math the way that you and I hate math. These guys live for this stuff. And they've done different studies in the past that a small earthquake can be a precursor to a much bigger earthquake. And this has been proven, and they have all these stats over time. And you could go crazy with this if you sit there and go, okay, this is it. This is the big one. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. And they give you a time frame. And what they say is like the likelihood of this earthquake happening in the 4s, and then the next big one would be 36 hours. So we're still in that window right now. But the point, here's what's disturbing about this, that makes people need to prepare, that I've talked to people about today, and that is, in an average year in California, you will get 8 4.0 earthquakes in California. Okay? The all-time record is 13, which was last year. This year, we've had 14, and you're only in early October right now. So the likelihood that you're going to have continued 4.0 and above earthquakes are there. But does that mean that you could have this huge earthquake that could take everything out? And understand this. When you go from 4 to 5 in an earthquake, it doesn't mean, oh, that's 20% stronger. No, it like doubles. And you can have geologists, and I'm sure people will reach out and explain this much better, but every point on the Richter scale, one full point, is double in size of the earthquake. So when you see like in the movie, I think there was an 8 or a 9-point earthquake. That was really serious. And you just saw the devastation with the tidal waves and things like that. That's why when you see 6s and things like that, it's very serious. So the likelihood that there could be a much bigger earthquake is, it's there. But knowing that we could have these problems anytime, could happen tonight, could happen tomorrow, could happen 6 years from now. You don't know, but the likelihood that you're going to have these earthquakes hit you is something you have to be prepared for. So food, water, safety, have your security plan with your family members, with work, with everything. Because I'm telling you, you'd be surprised how many people are like, oh God, you're really doom and gloom, man. All you do is talk about the negative. This is the reminder of all reminders. And all my friends that called me and said, oh, you're right, this is it. I have to have everything ready. You talk about this all the time. And there's people that have this set up. I have family members that I don't have to worry about. I have friends I don't have to worry about. I have acquaintances and people I know and people on the channel that need to prepare. But if you live in an area that it could snow, for example, and you could be shut down, you need to be prepared for that. You need to be prepared for no energy, high fuel costs, how are you going to keep the house warm, and things like that. I was joking yesterday because, wow, it dropped to 66 degrees. And I had friends go, when are you going to bring the scarf out? And it's not scarf weather yet, but the weather's turning right now. But as far as the earthquake is concerned, you have to get ready for this, guys. You have to be serious about this, just like you do if you live in a hurricane zone. And my heart goes out to all these people because they are getting absolutely hosed. And then you'll like this, the accountant that wrote me today and said, hey, if these people get $750, don't forget they're gonna get taxed on that too. It's not gonna be a government giveaway. They're gonna have to pay taxes on that because it's over the $600 amount. Is that just insult to injury when you think about that? But you need to get ready for whatever your circumstances. Have a plan, have a safety plan with your family members. But here's the thing, my son lives across the country, so I have to exclude him. We have a way of communicating if there's a problem with the satellite phones and things like that. But if there's an issue for my daughter, we know where to meet. You know, do you guys have that? Do you have food set up? Do you have water set up that you could live for an extended period of time if you didn't have that? Most people say no. Now, the problem with Florida right now is they just got, slapped, and now they're going to get backhanded by Milton. So this is the thing. And again, is it the big one? I hope not. I hope not. But this is the lesson that we all have to learn in prepping. And, the prepping people are good-hearted souls, okay? They all are. I haven't met one that knows what they're doing that isn't a genuine, salt-of-the-earth person. You have to have a base. Oh, I'll go to my church. Is your church any good? Because I've seen a lot of people ditch their churches over the last 10 years because, hey, this didn't seem right. This didn't seem right. They didn't stand up for us here. They didn't do this. They need to have a plan. And again, have these conversations with the church. I have a friend that's he's a member of the Lions Club here in California, and the Lions Club should have a master plan. They do all these cool events throughout the year and have these big fish fry and big car giveaways and things like that. But places like that should have a sense of community with helping people. Your church should have that. Your schools should have that. Everybody should have that. And again, it's not, wow, Dan's a nut for thinking about this. No, it's safety. Because if you save one life, that's all it would take for this to be worth it. If one person was, collapsing or needed medication and couldn't get access to it, and you knew that, that would make the difference in the world. And again, like I say, is this the big one? It's going to happen, guys. It's going to happen. And living near a beach community, you have to worry about things like, tsunamis and things like that. And again, the way the coast is in California, it's not like the entire state's going to get taken out. There's areas that are more susceptible than others. There's cliffs. There's everything. I could spend an hour on with you. And I got a B in geology too. So remember that, okay? So number one thing in your life is to be kind to everybody, because our government is not kind to us. They don't care about us. And if you haven't figured that out through this election season and through this administration that cares more about foreign countries than they do about us, then you haven't seen anything yet, guys. So there's a lot more to cover. Let's talk about our sponsor, Patriot Gold Group. Number one rated for a very good reason. Their customer service is absolutely second to none. Consumer Affairs has listed them number one for the last 8 years in a row. You can't beat that, guys. If you want to get information on buying gold, you should do that. You should call them today at 888-330-1431. Get a free investor guide and find out how easy it is to buy gold. Their customer service is fantastic, but their pricing is great, and they have it all different types of precious metals. And one thing that we've seen lately is gold spiking. All these experts, Bank of America, UBS, Wells Fargo, now say that we could see gold go as high as $3,000 an ounce before the end of the year. Okay, guys, it's over 10%. So protect yourself today. Call #1 rated Patriot Gold Group. Get a free investor guide. Have them answer your questions. They have the no fee for life IRA on qualifying rollovers. You can get a 401k that's backed by precious metals. But contact them today and get your questions answered. 888-330-1431. You don't want to miss out on this. Now, I always love it when you guys send me personal stories and things from around the country, because once again, if things are good in your neighborhood, you think they're good everywhere. If they're bad in your neighborhood, you think they're bad everywhere. David sent me a myriad of stories out of the Witchita, Kansas area. And the one that got him upset, that he started the whole email off with, was how the local realtors are talking about, hey, we have great news. You're going to see a 6% increase in the price of your home over the course of the next year. Wow, that's strong. That's would be one of the strongest areas in the country if that happened. Now, we're gonna get back to pre-pandemic levels. You're gonna see the price of your house go up, and it's gonna get back to normal. Again, fantasy land. Complete and utter smoke and mirrors, Doug Henning. It's an illusion, you know? Come on, guys. It's a joke, okay? David is not buying this. And David is fed up with this because, again, a myriad of stories. But what I want to tell you guys is he sent me a great story about Cox Machine. Now, Cox Machine is a manufacturer of everything from commercial auto parts, the military, airline components, and they had to lay off a huge percentage of their workers across the entire country, and they're furloughing these workers. So, hey, you can do a shared work experience. How about that? Well, let me explain to you what shared work experience means from a corporate standpoint, and that is, John, you're not gonna get 40 hours a week, you're gonna get 28. And you're gonna show up at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, work till midnight, or you won't have anything. How about that? There's your shared work experience, guys. It's gonna be awful. But David is fed up with this. David is fed up with the lies and the BS that we have, you know, about all this stuff, because it just wears on you. Don't worry, everything's good, everything's good, everything's good. Hey, the local pizza place went out of business and they're ripping down that office building. What's going on? That's what's happening around the country. We were lied to at the end of the week last week about how great employment was. But the amount of hiring and the amount of, I'm going to use the right term that they used in this, and the hiring rate is trending lower. In other words, what they're doing, and you know, Cox Machinery and other companies in Witchita, Kansas, there's a great article about this below, about how you can sit there and talk about how many jobs are out there, but listen, we may list that there's going to be 25 jobs, but we're only going to hire 12 people for this. They do that all the time, and everybody's fed up with it. Everybody's fed up with it. Now, Dr. Marvin brought up something that you need to look at, and that is, you know, maybe I move to Colorado, maybe I get out of Florida. And again, a lot of people are leaving Florida right now for a lot of reasons, okay? And Dr. Marvin is a professional that can go out and, you know, see patients online if he had to. So he could live in Colorado like his friend did. His friend went and has a nice house paid for, has insurance that went down to $1,600 a year from $6,000 a year that he was paying in Florida now. What would he be paying now? Who knows? Who knows? God only knows. Now the next thing, which is great because of the sponsor today, and that is silver production right now is not meeting the current demand for all the uses out there. There is so much demand for silver. The biggest year of production was 900.1 million ounces. And that was the biggest year. It was 2016. And think of this, since 2016, think of all the electric cars, think of all the solar energy, think of everything that's been put into play that we need silver for. Last year, there was over $62 million ounce shortfall for silver. You guys want to buy something that's inexpensive? Yes, it's gone up to $31 an ounce, but I've had experts say it's going to hit 40, it's going to hit 50, then you're going to see $10 bumps each day. Now, I've had people get insane and say we're going to see silver at $500 an ounce. The world would be insane if we got that. But if you want something inexpensive that you can buy, you can go to a local pawn shop, local coin shop. You can go to different collectible places or buy it online, okay? If you want to buy an ounce or two. You want to go to a good company, go to Patriot Gold. Anyways, the other thing is gold itself. Now, here's the one big announcement that got made this week is that as central banks buy gold more and more and more, they're kind of behind, like 30 days behind or so. The last number that we got from good old, the banking for Poland was that they had 420 million metric tons of gold in their central bank, which makes them a larger gold holder than Germany right now. So you're going to see this, guys, completely escalate and completely grow. And again, you have experts talking that you could easily see $5,000 gold. And like Bob Kudla said, speaking of Bob Kudla, you have no limit to this. So the other things that you guys have asked for is a trading class with Bob Kudla, and he's doing a webinar on October 15th. Go to bobstradingclass.com or use the link below to sign up for it. It's incredibly inexpensive. You're going to have Bob for 2.5 hours. It's going to be completely interactive. He's going to show you how to trade stocks, the way he does it, and learn the trading platform and everything that he does. But it's going to be something that if you're a novice or if you've traded a lot, you're going to benefit from this. But check it out today. Bob is, a complete expert. You guys have seen it. You guys have asked for him to get on, but he's absolutely slammed right now. But we got him October 15th before he goes on his vacation. So go to bobstradingclass.com. So, guys, again, preparation financially for your health. I've sat there, and the older I get, and I meet friends from high school. I had before the baseball season ended and my team finished in last place, I got to go to an Angel game with a bunch of friends. And this is not to slam them, but I was shocked at the health problems that people I went to high school with have right now. And I'm like, man, oh man. I mean, God, it's just sad. It's just sad. But a lot of this is preventable stuff, guys. A lot of this is eating right, not smoking, not drinking like a booze hound, and, taking better care of yourself. And that's what people don't do. And then, I'll never forget when Bill Clinton had his heart attack and his doctor came out and said, hey, listen, this guy's been quarter pounder with cheese and Big Mac boy, and then would wash it down with a fillet of fish. Just because he found Jesus this week, he's not going to lose weight and get out of the woods. This guy's got to have life-altering dietary changes. And I thought it was funny at the time, but that's what a lot of us need, is life-altering dietary changes. Walk, exercise. If you look at all the people that talk about health and losing massive amounts of weight, let's just talk about that. It all involves you exercising and walking. If you walk, you're ahead of the game. And again, go get some earbuds, go listen to your favorite show. He's available on everything, iHeartRadio, all that stuff. Check it out, okay? But just get some exercise, guys. Get away from the family. Learn something, okay? It'll make a big difference in your life. We were talking earlier about shenanigans when people tell you things, and how sometimes it just doesn't add up and you just get fed up with hearing it. Have you ever had a bad week at work? Like, hey, that was the week from hell. Oh my gosh. Customers were all angry. Nobody was happy. Nothing got shipped in on time. Nothing got delivered. It was just awful. Every single one of us as adults, if we've worked at multiple places, have had that happen. Well, You'll love this one. Demola Adamolko is the new CEO over at Red Lobster. And he says, listen, you know, it was a real difficult time when we did that endless shrimp. And that was the thing that really did the company in. They've closed over 100 locations. But I want you to think about this. When you think about that endless shrimp promotion, how long was that, guys? This is the funny part. This is the part I never knew until I read this story about the new CEO. It lasted 1 week, guys. 1 week. 1 week. And they're trying to say this is the thing that bankrupted the company? No. That is a complete lie, 100%. Let me explain to you what bankrupted that company. They sold Red Lobster to a hedge fund. The hedge fund then sold all the real estate and made Red Lobster rent it back at a premium price. So they were paying huge amounts of rent that they could not afford, whether they made money or not. And let's face it, you've been into chain restaurants where this one's busier than that one. And oh my gosh, I don't like going to Joe's Crab Shack at the beach because it sucks. I like to go to the one by Disneyland because they churn so many people through. Okay, get the gist of it. So this guy's just a liar. And let's go back to get some Red Lobster, okay? Great list of the dirtiest cities in the country. Number 1 is San Bernardino, California. On your worst day, if you were an oil worker and then hang out with the pigs, you'd be better than San Bernardino. Oh my God, I can't believe you said that, Dan. San Bernardino is a lovely city. Sure it is. Sure it is. Okay? And we talked about Ontario. I couldn't believe it. Ontario was the 5th dirtiest city in the country. Now you've got Detroit on there, and you've got Reading and Newark, and Vegas is on there. Vegas is, oh my God, Vegas needs a bath at times. But that's the gist of this. So I get a kick out of things because I'm telling you guys, a lot of our problems are self-made. They really are. There is a new term called Henry, which is a high net earner that is not rich yet. It's called a Henry, which I think is a stupid term, but that's what they call it. There's an article below about this. Now, there are people that make 300 grand a year that don't consider themselves wealthy. And now there's people out there that are like, 300 grand? Be sitting on a beach if I made 300 grand. Exactly, guys. The point is, it's all relative. Go spend yourself to oblivion. Go have a $12,000 a month house payment. Go get a car, and then the wife's car too, plus the insurance. It's about 5 grand a month for all that. You know what I mean? You could spend everything. Don't get me wrong. There are people I know, and you've all listened to Dave Ramsey and just laughed when you drive down the freeway and going, listen, my wife and I, Betsy, we're about $380,000 in debt. Huh? Oh, how much do you make? I make about 140, and it's crazy. Had another story sent to me where a woman says, I regret going to college because I am $250,000 in debt. And the one thing I wish that they would have sent to me and would have pitched to me was to have job experience and work experience, because she's been trying to interview for 3 years and can't get a job after 3 years with her degree. Now, I have that story. I'll make sure I list it below too. But guys, it gets to a point. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? I'm telling you right now, this is the warning time to get ready. Now, if you're in the path of a hurricane, God love you. God bless you. I hope it all works out. And we need to take care of these people and take care of your neighbor. But I am telling you, kindness counts for everything right now. What you can do to have compassion and help people, whether it's with your money or it's with your time, your expertise, your knowledge, whatever. We need more of this right now, guys. We really do. So I think I'll end it here. Please don't forget to hit the like button. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Don't forget the private channel, iAllegedly Live. We're putting a lot of videos on that too. And you can sign up at iAllegedly.tv for that. Use the link below. Email me, hello@iAllegedly. Always love your stories. Dr. Marvin, David, everybody that sent me stuff. Even if I don't mention you guys, I really do appreciate the effort and the time that you guys do this, okay? Stay safe and be smart and be kind, okay? I'll see you soon.